welcome back to HBO Girls Rewatch, episode 3. We're so excited to be back.
We are so excited to be here. Hey girls, gays, and theys. We're going to have a good time here today. Absolutely, with HBO Girls Rewatch podcast.
Yes, say it twice. Okay, we have another guest for you today. We're covering episode 3. All Adventurous Girls do. All Adventurous Women Do. Our guest is going to give a synopsis of the episode, and then we'll formally introduce them.
So Charlie shakes his head. Marnie's like, oh, I hate that. And he's like, for a girl with cancer. He's like, why didn't you say that first?
And then Adam and Hannah are fucking, and he's like weird about her weight. And then Jessa's a nanny for the hot dad and Catherine Hahn. Hannah finds out that she has an STD and it's HPV, and she calls everyone, and everyone's so upset for her. Marnie starts crying. And then Hannah texts Elijah, her ex-boyfriend from college, who's played by Andrew Rannells, and he was straight in college when they dated, but now he's gay, and she finds out at dinner, and he says your dad is gay, which is shocking. And then Hannah loves getting hit on the side of her body.
That is such a important plot point.
And then it ends the episode with Hannah and Marnie dancing on Your Own by Robin. And it's
So I would say the synopsis that IMDb would write would essentially be like Marnie's still struggling with her boyfriend that she doesn't love. Shoshana is depressed. She's still a virgin. Jessa starts a new job as a nanny.
She's really bad at it. She hates the kids, and she's like, she says something so funny. She's like, oh, sorry that I'm sorry.
No, go.
She goes, she fell on her head and she just got right back up. She's so resilient about one of the kids. It's so funny. And the dad is like,
And then Hannah finds out she has HPV, and she goes on a hero's journey with that.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful episodes of TV.
And that was a beautiful intro to our episode, I feel. Today we have Rachel Coster joining us. You heard her voice.
She's got an amazing tooth job.
Yeah, we're so excited to have Rachel from Brooklyn. Originally, born and raised.
I'm from Long Island.
Yeah.
But Brooklyn's on Long Island, so ultimately I've been here a while. But definitely cannot claim being a New Yorker. Or like a New York City kid.
I know. What do you think about that? It's like, I'm from one who's from Westchester, which is right outside the city. Mm-hmm. And I was born in Manhattan, but like, that doesn't count. 9/11. And then I went to Westchester. So like 2 years.
Oh my God.
But people are always like, I can't, if I'm not a New Yorker, what am I? A resident of New York State?
It's hard because it's like, I came into the city like every other weekend.
I
was racking in the miles on the LIRR. I have to be considered something.
Punch card.
And like, yeah, I didn't like walk around with my friends at night, but I'm like so close, and there's no other city that I feel connected to like this. And so I'm like, but I also understand that in moving to New York, I did displace someone who lived here before. So I'm like, yeah, it's valid. And also like, then there's people who come in from wherever, and I'm like, dude, the fuck are you? Go to your little city.
No, we've always been told we're going to live here in our 20s.
I always was like, well, you just go into every single person who graduated from my high school, you move to the city. And so I'm like, what am I supposed to do? I'm not going to move to the city. That was what I said I would do. If I stayed on Long Island, I'd kill myself. Sorry. And if I moved to Maine with my parents, I'd probably I don't think I'd kill myself, but I'd be bummed out. And I would do a lot of drugs, or like being out, like really drinking a lot.
No, we've been told our whole lives that we're moving to Manhattan.
I was prepared for it.
No,
and I really will never get to Manhattan.
The big twist is that we moved to Brooklyn. It really is.
Surprise! I'm a couple blocks away.
So brave of you two to not move to the East Village.
Also, this show, Girls, was a huge. I think think that Girls was a huge proponent in a massive amount of people who believed that their life would end up in New York City. You know what I mean? Like all of our generation, anyone who was weird and artistic or gay who watched Girls was like, I've got to go to New York because that's where you go to brunch with Hannah Horvath and all your friends hate each other but still hang out, and and you'll have Jewish friends for the first time maybe.
Literally my story.
British friends.
Well,
you know what I mean?
What was Brooklyn before Girls? It was Sopranos. It was all we knew about Brooklyn was I don't know where Sopranos was.
I think that's in New Jersey. Nurse Jackie was here. It was in Richmond.
Not Nurse Jackie.
That's Queens.
Sex and the City did exist, but
that's
that
not
was
But they never go to
and
that's their thing.
they don't
They're
even go on a
100%,
subway.
yeah.
So it's like, unless I'm like going to Cosmo, it's like I knew I wasn't going to be a magazine working girl.
Yeah.
So I had to figure out what the other options were. Lena opened our eyes. Podcasting.
They really didn't want me at Cosmo. I tried. I don't have the vibes. Any like I worked at Paper Magazine for like 3 weeks and I was like, this is not for me.
Really?
And I am aggressively not for this. Yeah, sometimes you just know like people don't like you. You know what I mean?
That's perfect when that happens. And it's like, okay, well, I am stuck here 40 hours a week, but no worries. I love it. Okay, let's jump into our first segment. Girl, what girl are you?
I'm Hannah for sure. Unfortunately.
Why do you think Hannah? That was
I'm
quite
like-
immediate answer.
Well, it depends on which friend group I'm hanging out with. Like my college friends, I'm definitely Hannah because I'm like the most annoying and like boring.
Totally.
And then like sometimes I'm like Jessa when I'm like around like my friends who are losers. And then sometimes I'm like Shosh because I'm like always annoying. But I really am a Hannah, I think. It was the first time I ever saw a weird body on TV and I was like, okay, I can have sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I like started watching, like, when did it come out? Like I was like
2012.
Oh my God. Yeah. I was like a sophomore. And so I never like, I just was like, well, I'm never going to have sex because everyone who's having sex in my school is like so skinny.
Yeah,
and
it's
so
only
hot.
models.
And so like all my friends who were fucking were like tiny. And all my TV shows where people were fucking were tiny. And I was like, well, I'm not on Skins. And I'm not like, I'm not like that. So it was the first time I ever saw someone with like a wide ass having
Totally.
sex. And so it was like electrifying. And so I was totally moved by her. I'm also just like a pain in the ass and kind of rude. And I make a lot of enemies.
That's so funny.
But always fucking people.
No, you know yourself.
No,
Clearly
yeah.
People
came
always
through.
want to fuck me for sure.
It's
What?
like, you're so chill, you'd be an amazing lay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm amazing. I'm so chill. I'm really fun. I'm down for whatever. I'm really open to experiences. And I'm very understanding.
Okay,
yeah, you
everybody
really are,
listening
Hannah.
is in love with you.
People love an understanding girl.
They do.
Whoa.
Which girl are you guys? Well, have you already
No,
done
no,
this?
no.
Sorry.
It's important because for this episode, I would really say I am definitely channeling a Jessa energy in a clearer sense. It's like Jessa is someone who's really, I think she's actually really good with children because she is a child herself. Like maybe not the responsibility sense, but like getting what their whole thing is. It's like, yeah, I understand that. That's why I think I'd always be good with children because I'm like, I get what their vibe is. And I think that's a big
they're
part of
artistic and smart.
Exactly. It's about being
Yeah.
neurodiverse. Every child is neurodiverse until they go through puberty.
I feel like children are just they just want the truth. So if you're like, here's the truth, they're like, I love you.
And I love telling the truth.
Both your eyes glazed over.
I love children.
I always get kids to like me by being like, yeah, I don't know what's going on. And they're like, you're so real for that.
Hey, Amelia, what girl are you?
This week I'm still once again Marnie.
Yeah, you're Marnie.
I
Why do you know?
Yeah, I know. More than ever, I am realizing that my uptightness is a menace to those closest to me. And I have brown hair still, so
We cannot ignore your hair.
yeah.
It's so gorgeous. A lot of really gorgeous brown Jewish hair in this room.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
amazing.
Mine is coming back in.
I think amazing thing about Amelia is that everyone thinks she's Jewish.
You're
Just
not
because she lives
Jewish.
in Hasidic Williamsburg doesn't mean she's Jewish.
You literally had me fooled. I walked in here and
Tell
was like,
about
what
your
an
mood
amazing
board.
Jewish home.
Oh yeah. Okay. So I made a vision board and I was like, I want to get into shrooms this year. And so I like looked up like colorful background that made it look like your mind was expanding. But instead it was just like a colorful picture of like the stars of David and a Torah.
Amazing.
There's
And were you
literally-
moved
rolled
by
out
it?
Torah.
Were you on shrooms when you looked at it?
No, but I did make it my
You were
back.
just preparing.
I made a vision board on Photoshop and half the vision board is this. And then I'm like, why am I not doing shrooms? But I am being culturally Jewish in ways I never even saw coming.
I'm like begging to see your mood board after this if I'm allowed. And
Yeah.
it's no
You
problem,
are,
but
you
I
are.
really want to see how your brain works because I think it's totally fascinating. And I want to make a mood board and I'm like, to see someone else's would totally electrify me.
Yeah,
No,
I'll show it to you.
100%.
Thank you so much.
So let's jump into I'm liking this part right here. This is where we talk about a part of the episode that we liked.
Okay, cool.
Could you go first, Brady?
Yeah.
Okay.
So obviously I like when Hannah is screaming at Elijah about being gay, where she has to like manage being happy for him coming out and also reckoning with the fact that he was gay while they were dating and maybe he like wasn't so like into her. And he goes, I don't say gay. And she's like, okay. And like having to deal with that. I liked the part where they flashed back to, wait, was this the same episode? I really watched like a bunch of episodes. I think it's later.
There is no flashback, but I think it's also important that there could be.
Yeah. Okay, I love Robin dancing when she's like,
oh yeah.
I love when she's like wearing her makeup and she's like free and she's like fucking gorgeous. I don't remember what she does, but she like hisses. And then I like at the end when she's like on Twitter and it's like she types it, like I remember that. Like,
oh wait, I wrote it down.
I wrote it down too.
Life has lows, comma, life has lows or something to that effect. And then she deletes it and she's like, just found out my ex-boyfriend is gay. And then she backspaces and then she's like, all adventurous women do. And
the music changes and she's like, da-da-da, I just wrote my fucking... Also, she did, I love when she calls Marnie about her HPV and Marnie's like, no, like immediately starts crying and is like, no, Hannah, like you're the most safe girl about sex and you're always so worried about stuff like this shouldn't have happened to you. Like she's gonna die and it's like literally not a big deal. And then she switches over and she's like, also rent is due next week. I love that. And it was giving COVID like,
and Hannah's like, I'm pre-cancerous, hangs up.
She's
perfect.
It's perfect.
Okay, you're liking all the parts.
The little kid goes, I wish I was homeless. And Catherine Hahn is like, no.
Okay, did you catch the fridge? So the fridge in this episode, it's a big fridge and there's like, there's magnets all over it. And then they open up, it's just cabinets.
Oh,
if you go back and rewatch.
That's scary.
It's on the TikTok.
Thank you for drawing attention to that.
I would say my favorite part of this episode is when Hannah is quickly changing at Shoshana's apartment. Mm-hmm. And Shoshana's like truly in a Snuggie with like Dylan's candy shop candy all over it.
She's so cute. Yeah. And she's like, you have to watch the show. What's your baggage?
It's what's your baggage?
Literally.
Yeah. And it's like,
also like, what a cute show. That. And then she's like, what's her baggage is so funny.
Yeah, her baggage is like, it's like my middle baggage is that I truly don't love my grandmother.
Yes.
And my biggest baggage is...
And IBS.
IBS is her small baggage.
Her big one is being a virgin.
And Hannah's like, that doesn't count because that's temporary.
And the Lonely Island guy part. Like, what's his name? Akiva or something? When Jessa sees him at like the art gallery opening. No, Marnie.
My God. Yes.
Marnie sees him at the art gallery opening and he's like, one day I'm going to fuck you and it's going to scare you.
When they're at the High Line, they can't get on.
It is so awesome.
She's like,
It's one of the hottest lines in America.
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to fuck you and you're going to be a little scared. And then they do. I remember they fuck later and it's just like so awful. And she's just like pinned down like hogtied and he's like on top of her like flopping.
But she orgasms.
Really shocked.
Which I don't think she's ever done before.
That's so cool.
No,
I remember watching that in high school and being like, I don't think I need to have
What would you say your biggest baggage is? Or if you could do little baggage.
Little baggage is that I'm too busy. Actually, that's all my baggage.
That's such a
I'm
good
just really
one.
busy. Everything is perfect about me. I'm an amazing person to be in love with and fuck and date. I'm just really busy.
Yeah.
And I have a lot of other stuff going on. And I'm kind of like a cunt.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Sorry, can I say that word on here? I'm like,
yeah, sure. We don't care.
Sometimes I can be mean, but I'm working on it.
I don't think you ever are.
I am, and I'm working on it.
That's perfect. You know yourself. I think girls always think they're meaner than they are.
I don't know. Well, usually I'm like apologizing all the time, and then people are like, don't apologize. And then I'm like, okay. And then I stop apologizing, and suddenly everyone's mad at me, and I'm like, well, what do we want?
Yeah.
But I'm figuring it out, and it's no problem.
Huh.
And I do need to work on my attitude.
What do you think being mean means? Is it an attitude or is it like the absence of...
I think sometimes when I'm joking, it comes off like rude.
But that's all good comedians.
My small baggage...
Your small baggage would be like, you give me curly or straight hair girl.
Totally.
So hard.
It's really hard to know.
It's like I gave myself a blowout and everybody on Friday was like, did you go to Dry Bar? And I was like, I can do it myself.
Yeah, I'll do your baggage, you do mine.
Okay.
Okay, your medium baggage is that you think that you will have a breakthrough one day. I don't think like you wake up with a breakthrough. I think it's something that
it's a slow process.
It's a slow process, and it's like you put.
What are you trying to break through? OCD?
Everything.
I'm afraid of stagnation.
She stomps around the apartment screaming about having a breakthrough. It's like, well, you're not gonna have one this way.
Well, I'm the same way. I don't know what the answer is. I think you just need to go to the beach more.
The truest me is on the other side of this.
Yeah.
That can't be true.
Okay.
and her biggest package is that she has a true self that she hasn't touched yet.
Oh my God, yeah.
It's like, I think what you have is what you're looking at right now.
You should start doing things that are really crazy.
Everybody keeps telling me I need to just make crazy choices, but
you need to get a bob, kiss some girls, and go to like Alaska. Like really, like
no, you're so right. You're so right.
Do word association and just like follow whatever your brain does.
You're right.
Because or like pick one day where you're just like, I'm calling out of work and I'm going to the Met. Like,
she hasn't called out of work in 2 years.
You have to do it this week. Just call out of work.
I've never
go to a spa.
That. I should.
Yeah, go to a spa.
Say I am so sick.
In the morning.
I can't stop shitting myself. Go to a spa.
You're right. I need to do something
this week.
I'm so excited to hear my baggage.
On your way home from the grocery store, go a really weird way and text someone strange. Text someone from high school you haven't talked to in like 3 years.
You're the life coach I knew I needed.
Whoa, this is your next career move. You should do something independent where you're like talking to people.
I like want to be like a personal trainer.
No, literally.
Oh wait, that would be perfect.
I literally just want people to go on walks with me in Prospect Park. I'm like, you don't need to work out. All you need to do is walk around Prospect Park with me. We're having so much fun. You're getting an amazing pump because I walk really fast.
Yeah, don't be a dog walker, be a person walker and just walk with them.
Come hang out with me. We'll chat it up.
Person walker.
No, that's perfect. You can charge like 40 an hour.
Therapy should be on walks.
It should.
Therapy should be in the woods on a walk.
Or Prospect Park at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk a lot more when I'm walking than I do sitting down.
It makes sense.
Yeah, but all of the therapists are queer or old. So it's like none of those people want to go for a walk. And if they're going for a walk, it's going to be really fast.
Yeah, true. And also, like, you don't want to be seen out with your therapist. It's like a night.
Totally.
They don't want to be seen with you, actually.
Okay, Evan, your small baggage is that...
something.
I don't know. I feel like you're actually really sensitive. So I'm kind of afraid to say what I think. Your small baggage is that you got fired last week.
Oh my God.
I'm pulling a you.
Your medium baggage is that sometimes you say sentences and 3 words are almost correct. And then your biggest baggage is kind of the weight of having really successare parents and that always weighing over you.
No.
Are you Nepo?
I wish. Well, we'll get to that later.
Okay,
no,
totally.
I'm not.
What do your parents do? Well, we can talk about
finance.
Marketing.
Yeah,
and his mom's job, their mom's job is naming brands.
What are you talking about? I could do that. You just spell stuff wrong for SEO.
But you're so right. That actually is all about naming.
It's literally like Lyft. Just choose a word that makes sense for what the thing is, and then spell it a little wrong so that people can find it.
That's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect.
What's the business you want? Tell your mom that I'm looking for hire.
We'll connect. Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, that was your favorite part, Shosh.
Yeah, I love that. It's just like the beat and a Snuggie. It's like,
she's
so
cute.
raw.
And Dylan's candy bar was such that era.
My favorite part of this episode was Catherine Hahn being in it.
I love her.
When she walks onto the screen,
beautiful.
I get chills every time. She kind of invented being like cool and having brown hair.
And being nice.
And just like good at what she does.
She's so nice.
And she's fun. And she was being so fun as like this wacky, crazy mom that's stressed out and is like the kids
making a documentary. She's a working lady.
Literally, she's carrying her husband on her shoulders.
And her loser husband with a ponytail.
Whose friend is in a shitty band. And then the kids are so like, you just know they're onto something big because their mom is like, go be cool.
Also, the dad arc is so real because like when you're like our age or whatever, you see like this hot older guy and you're like, oh my God, he's so hot and he wants to fuck me and he wants to cheat on his wife with me. And then you're like, he's a fucking big loser. And if I was his age, I would kill him. Like, you know, like if I was Catherine Hahn, I would divorce him immediately because he's a freaking loser.
He's such
trying to fuck the
dopey
babysitter.
Little weirdo.
And he doesn't care that the kid smashed her head or whatever when Jessa says that. He just like sucks.
Oh yeah.
And it's such a difference.
About her
like
attention.
When you're young, you think old people are so cool. And then when you're old, you're like, ew, why are you trying to fuck a babysitter? Get a life.
It's literally, it's humiliating.
It's really like perspective.
Well,
that's why when you're young, you shouldn't make any choices because your brain is so wrong.
That's so
Whoa.
true. Which
That
is
whole frontal lobe thing is, I
It's
guess,
so real.
correct.
I just started feeling like I know what I'm. Well, actually, I think I'm like kind of regressing, but deja vu. Whoa.
whoa.
This show
I love
has
this
so
place.
many layers.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And there's
It's
one
so human.
scene.
It's so humane.
Well, I've never seen a show where they just clip to something for 30 seconds. There's 30 seconds. It's just Shauna and Jessa talking, being like, I love the outfit, but I can see your nipples. And then, like,
Yeah.
that's the whole scene. It's
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the
perfect.
whole
She's
scene.
like, you can't go out like that.
She's like,
It's
I can see your belly button. And she's like, okay, it's floor length.
Yeah.
That-
It's
that's
conservative.
exactly.
It's floor length.
I love that. Also, that style is really in right now, wearing a skirt that's see-through and you've got little underwear on.
I'm gonna do that this summer. I'm
Oh,
gonna
you
dress
fully
so
should.
cute.
Good.
I'm tired of dressing like freaking weirdo.
I keep dressing like I work at the wing.
Yeah.
Zara.
You look so like
Sephora
I can connect
employee.
you.
Yeah.
Let me connect you.
Yeah.
Sorry, it'll just be a moment. Let me connect you. Or like, let's connect.
Yeah.
You're saying let's connect and you're
You're
sending
kind of just
emails.
describing LinkedIn.
LinkedIn is
Yeah.
my number one
Sorry, you're
platform.
like-
Yeah. It's okay. Okay, wait. Should we jump
But
into
that's gonna change because you're going to have a
Yeah.
massive shift.
I'm gonna
You're gonna let your
Don't you
hair
love
down.
this girl?
I'm going to Alaska.
Have you ever put your hair in a ponytail and gone outside?
Messy bun.
Yeah.
I was looking at pictures of before I got here, my last Google search. Sorry to be off.
No, I love
topic,
it.
Was Jennifer Coolidge. I've never seen her with a ponytail. I looked it up. There are no pictures of her with a ponytail.
You're kidding.
Wait.
Isn't that insane?
I need to know the science
I
behind.
will say I used to see her very casual because she lives in New Orleans.
Oh my god!
And so
I love
my
it.
friend would work at a juice place and she would come in all the time. So I would like be with my friend at the juice place and she would literally walk in and just be like in like sportswear. Like
She's
after
my
she walked
hero.
in
But
the
no
park.
ponytail?
She's
I
my
know.
Dolly Parton.
I love that girl.
I feel like she saw Dolly Parton and was like, "I'm gonna be Jennifer Coolidge." I see Jennifer Coolidge. I'm gonna be Rachel Coster. You know what
Wow.
I
Wait, I have chills.
mean? She's amazing. I can't wait to get huge tits. Working
Yeah.
on it.
Okay. I believe you can.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I know every girl in this town now is working on getting giant tits.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It's amazing to have boobs. I don't know what it's like, and I've got to get in there.
I feel like everybody who doesn't want their boobs, they're huge and they're cutting them off. And then everybody who wants them, it's like, it looks like they were cut off.
My sibling just got a breast reduction, and I'm like, get a grip. I don't care that your back hurts. You're the luckiest person in the
There's a
universe.
binary with boobs. It's either really big or nothing at all.
Yeah.
There's no middle.
No one remembers you if you have middle boobs.
Nobody even thinks about it.
It's like devastating. They're
Yeah.
basically small. If you got middle boobs, they're small. I'm so upset.
That's so funny.
It's Brandy Melville one size unless it's large.
Yeah.
Look at the time. It's quote o'clock.
Quote o'clock.
But Evan's thinking of renaming it.
But I was thinking it's like
I feel like it'll come up. Like, there'll be an episode where they say something where you're like, it's got to be this.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. We don't have to force it.
well, I agree, but I think quote o'clock is like it's so chuggy. But
I
it's
like
also
quote
there's
o'clock.
something else to call it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Quote
that's
o'clock.
chuggy, but your rename for it is girl. What
Girl,
did
what
you
did you just
say?
Girl, what's that quote? Quote, mama. Hey, girl. Hey, girl. What's up?
We make
What did that girl say? What did that girl say?
what girl?
Girl,
what did that?
that girl just say?
Girl, what
That's
are
a
you
Todd McCall
saying?
lyric.
Girl, what is that exact quote?
Yeah, wait, these are all perfect.
Yeah, I told you I should be naming stuff. Your mom needs me and she doesn't
Amazing
even know.
call.
Yeah, no, your mom's gonna hire Rachel after she hears this.
Thank you.
I'll put a word
Miss
in.
Lazarus.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll just do quote o'clock now.
Rachel, do you have a specific quote of all the lines in this episode? Which one really was like, this is bringing me home?
I can start it
Let
off.
me look.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you started off if you know Evan.
I like this one. It's like, my best dyke friend works for a dick doctor when Adam is saying he doesn't have HPV and they get tested. I love the word dyke. We can just start with that. I think it's so cool for someone to just, for Adam to use that word so fun. Because he's saying it in a way where it's like, it's congratulatory. It's exciting. He's saying something nuanced. And saying dyke in 2012 was a nuanced thing to say, ultimately. And then to say dick doctor, it's like, LOL. So those are just some amazing things that really came from there. We've definitely covered so many quotes here.
Also,
tonight.
I have so many stories that attach to two things. So afterwards, we have to get to that.
Okay.
because I wrote them down.
Okay, perfect.
It's so important to write stuff down.
No,
There's so many
it
quotes
is.
in this episode.
Okay, my favorite quote is I already said it, but I kicked her in the head trying to pick her up. She's so resilient.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
I wrote that one down too.
And also, you were never fat. You were soft and round like a dumpling. I wrote that down.
And she's like, thank you.
It's so like rude.
I actually
They like
think-
act like she's like
no, really.
like this insanely shaped person. I'm like, that isn't a like pretty straight sized girl.
She's pretty normal size and just has kind of hips.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. You are right. Calling back earlier to see hips on TV. Never done before.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It's like a girl eating on TV. Like really never done before.
Yeah.
Literally. My favorite quote was from the opening scene when Marnie is like,
Oh my
why'd you shave your head? I hate this. But then Hannah comes in and Charlie's like being kind of rude to her. Like
He's
Charlie
like, I did it for whatever her name is. And they're like, what?
Oh
Who's
yeah,
her?
like he shaves his head for somebody with cancer, and Marnie is like, now I look bad. But then Hannah comes in and is like freaking out, and I don't know, she says something dramatic, and then Charlie's just like, that's fun, go tweet that. Like so deadpan. And I'm like, yeah, go tweet that.
Also, she tweeted, one of the tweets at the end that she has written already is just poured water on bread because I'm an animal. Which is like such like eating disorder. Like that was like such a thing before we were like aware of like our eating disorders. It was just like, I'm just crazy. I'm just so random.
Yeah.
Also, and then the big quote where he's like, the first time I fuck you, it might scare you a little because I'm a man and that I know how to do things.
I love that line.
And then
crazy.
Marnie
It's so
immediately
hot.
locks herself in a bathroom to masturbate.
J.O.
Yeah, perfect.
It's so cool.
It's perfect. Oh, also loved, sorry I passed you an STD, but I enjoy your quirky web presence. And she's like talking about like some random girl.
No, it's perfect. There's so many. This is one of the most quotable episodes of TV.
It
I
literally
learned how to
is.
flirt from girls. I was watching and I realized
But that explains a lot.
yeah, because they're just
Wait.
like also like brash and rude and just say what they want. And so I'm like, I want to fuck you, and people are like, oh my god. But it's like, well, why wouldn't I tell someone that? You know?
Totally.
Because it's not a big deal.
People are always keeping secrets about that.
Yeah, it's like just tell them because nobody cares. Well, I don't care. Like if someone wants to fuck me, but I don't want to fuck them, I'm like, yeah, no problem. Of course you do. But like when I tell people I want to fuck them and they don't want to fuck me, they're like, I can never talk to you again. I'm like, well, we didn't have to. I literally just said it because I think you're hot.
Yeah.
And so like I learned that from girls.
Are you
because they
saying that to
really just
people?
say- every now and then I'll be like, do you like? I kind of think you're sexy, and they're like, okay, and it's no problem.
And what happens when you see them again?
I don't care. It's like fine.
I love you.
I don't know. Well, it doesn't happen that much that they don't want to fuck me, but when it does, it's
Yeah.
like whatever.
People always do want to fuck.
Yeah, usually.
I'm always shocked to find that out. Whenever somebody's like, let's go out, I'm like, me? Why?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Who told you?
that you're kidding and
Who
you're
told
joking.
you I would do that?
Well, it's just so
I gotta
retro
go.
to ask someone IRL.
Oh yeah.
So
whatever.
you're doing really the Lord's work.
Yeah, everybody's on IG.
I do that too.
Well, people don't like rejection anymore.
Yeah, it's so random.
It's so
Because
random.
rejection really is like the spice of life. If you're not getting rejected, you're not doing stuff.
That's so true.
I like get high off rejection. Not in like a weird way, but it's like
So you love
it's better to
stand-up
try
comedy.
than fail than never try at all.
I think I just like every time I get rejected or like fail at something, it's like I survived that, I'm fine. You know, like
Totally.
every now and then it like destroys me, but only for like 2 days, and then I'm fine again. and
Wait,
then it's
that's
like,
so few days. That's really powerful.
It's kind of like muscles where like you're so sore, but then you're like, well,
But
I'm stronger.
those 2 days, I'm the same way, but those 2 days are really bad for me.
Oh, well,
Are they not even that bad for you?
you just have to drink more water and just move. Get the lactic acid out. And that's the same thing with rejection. If you get rejected, just try again with someone else.
I feel like you're
Huh.
operating up here. We're
No, I'm
down
like definitely
here.
manic.
You
I'm,
should
like,
talk
being
this way
insane.
at Paper Magazine. They would have loved it.
They really did not like me. I was weird as hell, and I
No,
always wore
you
weird
should-
outfits.
You should have a column.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Oh, yeah, you have a Substack.
I haven't written on it in weeks because I've been so depressed. I have not gotten out of bed before 4 p.m. any day.
That's
Oh,
perfect.
perfect.
Working on it, or I've been working so much. Anyway, no problem.
Love you.
Wait, but there's a story that was so reminiscent of this girls episode that I have to share.
Please.
When I was in I went to boarding school and I like came home for the summer
You reveal.
before college, and I was like, I'm gonna lose my virginity this summer 100% because I cannot go to college a virgin. And I get into the car with my friend who is we've been best friends since we were like 5. He's like got really hot. I was getting really hot. I was just like, we're going to fuck. I get into the car. He's like, we're going to get coffee. And I was like, he's gonna ask me to be his girlfriend. Duh. And so I get in the car and he's like, Rachel, I have to tell you something. And I have to tell you 3 things. And I was like, lay 'em on me. He was like, I broke up with my girlfriend. And I was like, oh my God. He was like, wait, what was the 3 things? He was like, he was like, or I broke up with my girlfriend.
1.
I'm seeing someone.
Oh.
Who?
It's a boy.
Oh.
And I literally was like, every single thing was an emotional roller coaster because I broke up with my girlfriend. I'm stoked. Of course he's going to ask me to fuck him. And then, no.
That is devastating.
You're like,
that's Hannah Elijah.
Yeah, because I was like dead set. I was like, we're gonna fuck.
That's a roller coaster because you're going down and you're like, it can't go any further, and then you're going
and then
even
it's
further,
worse.
and then you're doing a twist.
Yeah, and I had to pretend to be happy for him in the same way where I was waiting for him to be like, let's go have sex in the middle of the day and get coffee afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought that, but I was just like, surely that's
how long
this
did you
works.
hang out after this? Like,
we went and saw his boyfriend.
No, you didn't.
God.
Yeah, we went and met his boyfriend who we went to Six Flags with later.
You're fighting for your
Oh, you
life.
actually did go on a roller coaster.
It was just me with him and his boyfriend.
You
at
went on an
Six
emotional
Flags.
roller coaster, and then you went on a real roller coaster.
Yeah, and it was so fun. I love Six Flags. We went at 5 a.m.
Wait,
so we
which
got
one,
there
the New
right when it
Jersey
worked out.
one?
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you got to
we
go
went to
on
King
all
to
the
Kong.
coasters early.
We went on everything 3 times. King to Kong once, obviously, because I was going.
That's scary.
It was really scary, but it was so fun. I love going on roller coasters. We went on Superman so many times, and we got cheese fries.
Wait, let's go on. I haven't been on a roller
Yum.
coaster in years.
Here's what I want to do. I'm getting a car, roller coasters,
Uh-huh.
camping
Uh-huh.
every other weekend.
And
I'm
then-
getting everyone out of the city. I wish I had a bigger van. I wish I
You're
had a
Kimberly
huge
Akimbo.
I have a
I'm
car
so
too,
good.
so we'll
van.
text.
What is that?
It's like a Broadway show
Where she's old.
Where she's old, but at the
You
end of the
actually know
day,
exactly
at
what
the end
it
of the
is.
day, she follows her dreams, and that's kind of going to an amusement park and like in the woods.
Do you think I'm old?
No.
No. I think you're one of those people that gets extra time.
Thanks.
Like, even if you, whatever age you are, you also get additional years.
Okay, cool.
Also, though, that scene with Elijah is so real because it's like every man in my life is gay. Like, and
I've noticed that.
yeah, people know that they're like, you only are friends with gay men.
I think that's cool.
This is Amelia's
Thank you.
big point of the whole episode, too.
Maybe that's your medium
It's her
baggage.
overall
my medium
takeaway.
baggage.
All your friends are gay.
Yeah.
No,
That's
not
cool.
even gay.
But the baggage
men.
is like cute. The baggage is like a really nice.
It's a carry-on. It's Vera
Yeah.
Bradley.
Yeah. Oh my God. I miss her. Where did she go?
Oh, where is she? But no, in high school, I had like a crush on this boy and was like, hey, come to Young Life with me. And Young Life is like church youth group
Yeah,
ultimately.
that's so Southern.
And he's like, I actually don't believe in God and I'm gay. And I was like, well, this is devastating. I'll never recover.
Oh, you guys have that in common.
Whoa. I always
Yeah.
was falling in love with gay boys and religious boys.
Yeah.
I have a problem.
And then my first week of college, I was like, okay, new country, new me. I'm falling in love with this cute blonde boy. I literally I'm like, Mark, like, let's go out. And Mark's like, so you're going to be the first person I ever come out to.
Oh
And then he spent the rest of first year, like, having the scariest hookups on Grindr that I've ever heard about. And I just had to be like, yes, Mark, so happy for you.
Okay, we got 2 more segments for you today.
Let's go.
Let's fucking go.
Let's
What are they? What are they? What are they? What are they? That outfit in Brooklyn.
That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
That outfit in Brooklyn is the segment where we kind of compare this episode to how Brooklyn is now. What has changed? What's different? What's the vibe? Clothes are different. Culturally, what's different? Anything you picked up on this episode that you're like, this doesn't happen anymore?
Yeah, I feel like cafes where people aren't like all on their computer. Wait, what happens in this episode? The bar, not everyone is like on their phone. There's not like a billion drunk girls. I don't know. I'm trying
Totally.
to think.
There's
No,
less
I
drunk
think
girls.
The art gallery opening where
Yeah.
a guy comes up and tries to fuck you. Oh, I think the racism that is exhibited before that happens when the girl is like, why are you dating my friend? I don't really want to talk about it too much because I just found it like upsetting. But she was just like, she like made like a racist joke about the girl that he was seeing, the Lonely Island guy.
Oh, yeah.
And then
The
what
Asian
else?
girl?
Yeah. And then there's another thing that was, I feel like they like, there's always just like little problematic stuff where it's like, oh, people don't really talk like
I don't think anything is like in those, all the things you talk about, I think those are so similar to what we've seen today. I think there still are racist blonde women running around in the
You're right.
It's just so, that's Manhattan coded. And the Highline still being chuggy,
You're right.
that's Manhattan coded.
You're right.
Girls being drunk, I think that's a big one. I think the biggest thing from 2012 to now is that people are actually a lot less drunk.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Definitely less drunk.
And people aren't dancing to Robin.
We're like addicted to being sober curious.
Yeah. Okay, actually, I think it's not that it wouldn't be in Brooklyn. It wouldn't be on a TV show. The racism wouldn't be on a TV show now.
Totally.
Or it would be different. It would be
you're
like
right.
differently worded.
Because
like in the other two, they say stuff that's like problematic, but it's like the person is like clearly like
Yeah.
like aware of what they're saying, and so they say it in like a more coded way. This was just like, outwardly racist, and so I think that's the only thing that would be different.
Totally.
And then I think the outfits, I can't really remember. Hats were bigger then.
bigger.
Well, I think something you can even call out. It's like Jessa, and we're going back to the floor length see-through dress. We talked about it a second ago. So fun. It's like
that's so in right now.
Yeah.
Jessa always dressed like ahead of her time.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
And Hannah always dressed like
So of
So
the
of
time.
the
so
time.
Century 21 Long Island Mall.
So
Oh my
like
God.
yeah,
Or
it's like
something.
Rue
Century
21.
22.
Century 20, what's that one? It's
Is
like
it the discount designer store?
Yeah,
Century
yeah.
Rue 21?
Century 21? Century
I
22?
think I thought it was Century 21, but it's
Oh.
probably Century 22. And I
They all
thought Forever
closed.
21 was the same thing when I was little. And my
Yeah,
mom took
yeah.
me there, and I was like, "This is not where my friends got their clothing."
It's like all the world's ugliest designer clothing, but it has a label on it.
I think Shosh being a virgin wouldn't be true now.
No,
Yeah,
more
no.
people are virgins now than I
Really?
think 10 years ago.
That's
Oh
so
yeah,
awesome.
apparently Generation Z is like no one's having sex.
Because they're all scared of being filmed.
Yeah.
I think the biggest...
really
They're
think
all-
No,
so.
really.
I think everyone's so scared of like getting canceled or being filmed.
We live in a surveillance community
Yeah.
society.
It's really scary and a
It's
bummer.
you can't make any mistakes now.
Yeah.
Well, I think the biggest change here is that Shoshana is... She's in her Snuggie, and it's so frozen yogurt core.
Yeah.
And that
it's
doesn't
so like
exist.
peaceful.
Did you
Yeah,
have
it's
those frozen
like-
yogurt
sits-
places?
Nobody sits
Yes,
like that. Like
TBY.
Oh,
she would be
did they
addicted
sell
to
college
TikTok.
merch at them?
Did they sell what?
All the frozen yogurt places when I was growing up would sell college merch for Syracuse University.
Yeah,
to, like,
yeah.
it's like they all were selling college merch, and they all were like the hub for middle schoolers who like loved candy.
Yeah.
And
And,
they
we're
all
like,
dress up
I
like
want to
that.
be skinny. We can't go to Carvel. I have to be skinny. And then they eat like 700 calories
It's
in
the
like
same thing.
mochi.
It's perfect.
It's so perfect.
I think-
Yeah, it was a frozen. 16 handles was popping off.
And it's such
Everyone
an
went to
aesthetic.
NYU. Also, NYU was cool.
Right.
This was a time when NYU was cool.
like
and not
everybody now is
embarrassing.
like NYU.
Yeah, it's like you are part of the problem.
You guys are so Brooklyn to say that because people still think NYU's cool.
I mean, it is.
Yeah,
Just
but-
but
because
I
you
think
live
it's like
here.
people who went there were proud of it, and now people who went there are kind of like, I went to NYU.
They're like, please don't get mad at
Yeah.
me.
It's because it was on TV.
Yeah.
For something to be on TV, it has to be what's that word? Blase.
Plaza.
Yeah, at some point because it's
I
like
have
it
no
already
idea.
happened. It already
Yeah.
existed in the cultural zeitgeist, so it's like it's gonna be annoying at some point.
You know what is different now is that STDs are called STIs.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
that's
like
a good one.
it went from disease to infection in the last decade,
Yeah.
which is cool.
That's
And
perfect.
what else was different?
Everyone has HPV now.
Yeah.
Did everybody have it? Back then, it was just Adventurous Women who had it, but now it's like,
1/3 of women have it.
but it's like, yeah, if you don't have HPV, I don't think I have it, but
I've got to have it. I've
it's
been
like,
so reckless.
how do you even find
It's
that sort of thing
everyone
out?
has that. All adventurous women do.
Well, I'm not very adventurous.
I think you have it just from like being a near woman too. It's like periods; they can sync up, so can HPV.
So true. It can pass through a lot.
Wait, STIs are crazy.
Yeah, clean the toilet seat, guys.
What?
Do you remember that was such a big thing when they're like,
Yeah.
these are the. You know when we first learned about STIs, it's all about like distorting rumors
No one ever
about
taught me
them.
about them. I didn't have
Oh.
sex ed. So I really had to just like Google stuff.
Why didn't you have it?
Because I went to Episcopalian school and they really don't teach you anything.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
They just say, don't have sex unless you're ready to have a baby. Okay. I think I can have a baby.
Right. You're
I'm gonna
like,
have sex.
I'm 16. I love Teen Mom. I could do it.
It's like an amazing way to get on TV.
I love
It
Teen
is
Mom.
because there's so many shows about it back then.
Yeah. They really kind of stopped doing that because I think it glorified this thing that was like Well, it was so weird because it's like, it's so Catholic to keep a baby or keep a whatever, but then it's like not Catholic to be like a 16-year-old who's like fucking.
Yes. No. It is
I mean,
really
remember
true.
that Glee was mainly about that for most of it.
Quinn, did she have the baby? Or did
Yeah,
She
she did
had the
put up
baby
for
and then gave it
adoption.
to Adina Menzel,
Yeah, exactly.
who was Rachel Berry's real mom. Whoa.
Whoa.
I love
Wrong
you.
show, different show.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm gonna one last segment for you here today. Ready?
Is this a Lena sleigh or a Judd hay? This is where we decide if the episode holds up. If it holds up, Lena slay. If it doesn't, we're yelling at Judd about it.
Totally. I think it's Selena Slay. It's so funny and so crazy, and the emotions are so good.
No,
I couldn't agree
that actually
more.
all does resonate. Yeah, I would say it's also a Lena slay. And the fact that this is actually the first 3 episodes of this show, they keep getting better.
Yeah.
They really do.
And they're covering so
good.
much ground that's like stories that are never being told. She's trying to tell them all at once.
No, they're saying lines in this episode.
Does. I was like, there's
No,
like so
literally.
many plots.
Literally.
No, there's lines in this episode that would define people's Twitter careers. And it's like, that's every other line in this episode. It is so amazing the way they just pump out
It's the
jokes.
funniest
and it's
shit
so
ever.
casual core.
She's so good.
Ugh.
Also, it's like the way she's good at like showing different people's, like she'll have 2 people having a conversation and you'll like really see both people's plot lines developing instead of just one person. Like no one is using anyone for anything. It's like
Literally.
we see Jessa and Shosh talk about something and it's like they develop a friendship and you see Shosh getting being a virgin and Jessa's some, you know, like you really see, sorry I'm burping so much, but you really see like
We welcome back.
everyone develop.
No,
with
literally.
each other.
I mean, even the scene with
Nothing
Elijah and
wasted.
Hannah, it's like it's so clear we're learning so much about Elijah because that's his like intro scene to the series.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, it's mainly like we're experiencing Hannah's emotions of being like, not only am I gonna have pre-cancer, but I'm also gonna find out that like my boyfriend is gay.
Yeah.
And now he's yelling at me and saying I'm a bitch and that my dad's also gay. Like
Yeah.
the way the scene ends and her jaw is just like,
Yeah. It's like you came here to be a bitch and now you're getting bitched out.
yeah. She
No,
was
Elijah
funny.
is a Hannah.
Yeah.
Elijah is a
He's
Hannah.
got main character. He's like in his own little thing.
No,
Oh my god,
really.
Elijah spinoff. He really like. It's kind of awesome how much of a star he is.
Oh, he shows up and you're like, you were in the original cast of the Book of Mormon. You
Yeah.
can tell.
Also, everyone in the show like is a main character. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Like that's something so cool. No one is like, I'm just here to support. It's like everyone is on there. I mean, Shosh kind of starts like that and then like figures out her own thing and is like, fuck all of you.
Yeah.
I'm going to be the voice of reason in this friend group.
Literally.
And so I think it's like really cool and how they all develop and how they all like shit the bed so much in the ways that you know
Literally.
that they will because it's just what they do.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's
Marnie
perfect.
could actually be so boring,
Yeah.
but instead they make her be so bad.
Yeah, she's fascinating.
It's
And she
perfect.
like has good things, but she also has awful things. And she
Yeah.
can be a really good friend, but she can also be a really challenging friend.
Mm,
And she
Wow.
can like
say that.
and yeah, they're all like amazing. And Jess is like so sexy and exciting. Everyone like the thing that they start with is like the opposite of what they end with. You know, like Show starts so demure and like afraid of everything, and then she's like the girl boss.
Yeah.
And then Hannah starts like a loser. I don't really know how she
No, she
ends.
doesn't change.
Yeah,
I think
she,
that's a big
Hannah doesn't
twist
really
is that she
change so
doesn't
much. She's
change
always
a second.
annoying and kind of always like not aware of stuff. Also, she's always talking about getting hit on the side during sex. That happens later in the Iowa Writers Workshop or whatever. And then and Jessa starts so sexy and awesome, and then you're like, she's an evil, bad person.
Yeah.
And Marnie starts annoying and awful, and then you're like, honestly, she's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or something. Well, she does a lot of bad stuff. I can't really remember.
I don't know. I feel like I'm rooting
What did
for
you
her.
think of this episode?
Oh, Lena Slay for sure. I mean, so much of it held up. It was perfect. I mean, the subtle racism was a Judd Hay.
Yeah.
That was kind of absurd. Also, what is it? The dad?
Being gay.
No, being a perv.
The dad being a perv. I was like,
Oh, that.
Judd
bad.
Hay.
Judd Hay. But I guess that's part of it. I mean,
Well, it kind of makes sense because right now, as this episode is coming out, we are learning that Lena Dunham had allegations of using the N-word so much during the filming of this show.
Really?
And actually,
wait, really?
so many N-word allegations.
Oh my God,
and she
dude.
just casually use it. So like, and you can see the essence of that throughout the show. It's like
I
there's so
mean,
much casual racism.
We haven't really talked about that, but she is absolutely like a deeply problematic person who like has so much privilege that she never reckoned with.
Totally.
And like never got held accountable until she got held kind of accountable, but like it really has never like mattered or changed anything.
Yeah.
And it's challenging because I think she is such a genius in some ways, and then in other ways I'm like, you totally missed the point.
Yeah.
And it's like a good cautionary tale because I feel like it could happen to anyone who's had it all.
I think even 10
Totally.
years, it's a big reflection of how racism in this country even is like truly looked at.
Yeah.
It's like,
Totally.
it's a
It
show
used to be
for
so,
white people.
Yeah.
And then of course, other people watch it, but the show is built around white people for a story for other white people that are moving to Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
what we're
really
doing right now.
alienating, I'm sure, to people of color. And they like make jokes about it. And yeah, it's like pretty nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, so there is that.
Cool. What an amazing note to end this episode off with. Well, thank you so much for bringing
Thank
guys.
you for having me.
No,
Sorry,
you
I
killed
was
it.
so non sequitur
No. It was perfect.
No, I think
Thanks
it's
for having me.
perfect. When I tune into a podcast, I kind of want to be taken on a journey.
Thank you for having me
Honey.
on this journey.
Yeah.
It was phenomenal.
It's full throttle. And anything you want to plug, a Substack, Instagram.
Oh,
Yeah.
by the time this comes
So-
out, I will have a music video out, and you've got to watch it.
Stop.
Watch and share.
A music video?
Yeah.
Holy shit. All right, we'll link it in the show notes, I'm sure. See you guys next
Love
week
you.
for
Thank you.
episode 4. EXO.